This is the Brotherhood. Real talk, real growth, real connections for anyone ready to own their truth and heal their wounds. Whether you identify as a man, woman, or somewhere in between, this is a space to get honest, be vulnerable, and build strength together. Welcome back. I'm your host, Raul Piguero, and today I have a special guest on my podcast. But before I say who he is, let me give you guys a little background, right? I can't just invite someone to my podcast and not give you guys some context on who this person is, how I know this person, where I met this person, etc., right? So we have a lot of things in common, right? I met this brother back in the Herbalife days as well, started around the same time. I met his wife first, and then I met him after. Both Dominican. I'm from the Bronx. He's from Wash Heights, right? Proud, loud and proud, Wash Heights. Gotta say it like that.
Nope.
We both connected through basketball, right? Very, he was on another level of basketball, but we both connected through basketball. He played in elite levels of the sports. He knows a lot of elite people that play the sport as well. But our connection came from meeting at a fit camp. And in that fit camp right away, I'm like the type of person that I don't know, it's like I have a magnet. Like, dudes don't see me and they're like, nah, I can never talk to that dude. Fuck that dude. Like, that's not the vibe I give off. I'm more of like, bro, I could probably relate to him a lot. Let me see. If he comes say what's up, I'm gonna talk to him. Or if I go and say what's up to him, whatever. But that's the vibe that I always rub off on people. So when I met him at a fit camp, I think it was the one in Van Cortlandt. I think that was the first one I ever met you in, and the one in Van Cortlandt, when it was getting real big. Like, I'm talking about over 100 people in the little spot where the football field is at. And I remember when we first started talking, what was going on? My name is, I don't want to say the name yet. I'm Raul. Nice to meet you, bro. I remember his wife was the one that introduced us. And right away, man, it was like an instant connection, almost like love at first sight type of deal. And, I got to know him. He's a father, a husband. He's also a stepdad, right? We relate on that already, right? He was also a former U.S. Army soldier, right? And, I've never been in the Army. I've never felt like, me personally, like, going out there to fight for a country. Everybody has their reasons why they do it, but it was so much respect, to hear someone say they were part of something like that, right? And for me, since then, it was a brotherhood that has grown to what it is today. I could remember one time also he was part of the flag football that we had going on. And I remember hitting him up, like, yo, I think we live close to each other. And he was like, what you mean, where you live at? I'm like, bro, I live right there in like in Riverdale. I think I've seen your car outside or something. And next thing you know, bro, I've been living there for a year across the street from this man. Across the street, and we didn't even know that at all. But without further ado, before I introduce them, let me get back to the whole script I got from Wash Heights. Father, stepfather, husband, former U.S. Army soldier, and now a CEO and entrepreneur. He's been through pivots in his life before entrepreneurship and also pivots after reaching success. That's why today's conversation is called The Pivot, because life is full of these moments where everything changes as a man, as a father, as a leader. How we respond to them shapes everything after. So without further ado, my brother, Angel Agramonte.
Brother, wow. I mean, talk about a phenomenal introduction. Now I just got to deliver on everything you said. And we really lived across the street
For a year, bro.
and just never, like, it's amazing how things line up in the universe, bro. But it is a absolute honor and privilege and pleasure to be here with you. So proud of you, man. And I'm excited to be here, my brother.
Thank you. He's a Knicks fan, by the way, guys.
Knicks in 5. And you already, I don't even got, listen, there's a couple things.
Nick's been saying 5 for years.
Don't worry, there's a couple things, there's 2 things I'm never going to apologize for. It's one, from being from uptown, from Washington. I am who I am. I'm from where I'm from. It's very simple. And second, I'm deaf, blind, and dumb when it comes to the Knicks. That's how deep my loyalty is. So Knicks in 5 every year until we get one. So
There you go.
it is what it
That's the
is.
spirit. That's the spirit. So we're gonna get right into it.
Let's
And
do it.
we're gonna get right into it. Saucy, juicy, all of that.
It's
All
crazy.
right. My brother, pause.
It's a crazy way to start the day, bro. But here we are.
I mean, it's morning time, bro. It's the best. It's the best time to record.
Let's do it.
So, Angel,
What's up?
when you look back, what's one pivotal moment that shifted the trajectory of your life right now?
The biggest, I mean, man, like when you've lived life, man, like there's a couple moments, but for me, like there's really one that stands out to me, bro. And that was when I found out I was gonna be a father at 18 years old.
Mm,
That was the first time that reality really hit because, you're a young kid. You're a young kid. You're going through everything you're going through. You out here living life, being very, very selfish because that's what you're supposed to be, around that age. I was, approaching my prime in basketball. So I had options. I had a lot of options. I found out I was having a baby, and it really just like everything around me was moving so fast. And when I found out I was having a daughter, like life slowed down for the first time in my life. And that's when a lot of like self-reflection began as to now what does the future look like. I never really thought about the future up to that point. Like everything is
right,
in the moment, you're
right.
young, you in it. You in it. Every day it is what it is. So you don't really think about the long term for yourself, yet alone for somebody else, So finding out that I was becoming a father at 18 years old, it really just started to like put things, it helped me gather perspective.
Okay. I became a father at 3 years older than you,
Mhm.
21. But I also had that, I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be a professional athlete.
Mhm.
I took a year off after I graduated. But then you look back and it's like everything has lined up in your life the way it was meant to be, right?
1000%.
Because if it didn't line up that way, you wouldn't be the angel you are today. Who knows what angel you would have been, but you wouldn't
My
been the
Lord.
one today you
It
are.
wouldn't have been this one. I tell you
Right.
right now. It
But
wouldn't have
that's
been
the
this one,
beauty.
Raul.
But that's the beauty. You're
Yeah.
this angel because of that, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to your daughter, right? Who decided to say it's time to be a
It's time.
dada.
It's time to
It's
be a
time to be a
dad, and
dada.
it's time to man up,
And
dad.
here's what's crazy. Jazzy's name is Jaslyn, right?
Yeah.
And my stepdaughter's name is Jasleen,
Yeah. Which is crazy.
right?
So the
So it's
first time
like,
when we first spoke about it, I was like, yo, that's trippy.
yeah, it is. My oldest is gonna be 19 in January,
Which is
so
crazy,
I'm
bro.
ahead. I'm ahead of you already.
Wow.
Big time ahead of you.
19 is crazy.
So you answered already. You answered this question because the follow up was if you could describe yourself before the pivot versus after, what changed the most in your life? But you already said, the man that you are today, you would never been this man if it wasn't for those changes you had to make. Realizing
1000.
that now you got to think about someone else coming into this life. It's not just
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into faith and shifts, right? I know faith has been a huge part of your life. How has your faith carried through seasons where a pivot was necessary?
So for me, when it comes to my faith, right, like I'm not, and it's so funny, bro, because I was talking to your friend, aka my wife, and I'm like, yo, like, some of the conversations we're gonna be talking about, whatever. She goes, "You faith? I don't see you." I'm like, "Yo, time out, dog. Time out."
That's the Puerto Rican in her,
That's
for
the
sure.
Puerto Rican in her, bro.
For
So I'm
sure.
not even going further into that with her. But it's just like feel like faith is different for everyone, right? Like I'm not in the church every Sunday. I'm not. I'm just not. But that doesn't mean I don't have faith. Like everything in my life that has happened to me, good or bad, like I've always come to the understanding, and that's based on the foundation my mother instilled in me as a kid that God is everything.
Right. Right.
And there was a while there, you know, in that pivot where you're not mature enough to understand the importance of faith,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like all these things that my mother would tell me as a kid, for her, she would say, oh, it's going in one ear and out the other. I'm listening to it. I'm just not as dived in and involved as she probably was, or as she would have liked me to be. But I heard everything.
Right, right.
I heard everything. I mean, I went to a Catholic school, bro. Like, I heard his word. Like, I heard everything that he was saying. I just wasn't, I had to get to a point in my life where I needed to be mature enough to understand it and understand its place in my life, and how everything that is happening, good and bad, is happening for a reason, and that he's setting me up for something I may not be aware of. And when it came to that pivot in my life, bro, like, I needed something that was like probably one of the first times in my life where I realized like I couldn't do it all by myself. Right? Excuse me. And I needed something bigger than myself, because you're selfish at that point,
Right,
right?
of
You
course.
realize everything, like you think
You're in
you're
control.
in control of absolutely everything, when the reality is you're in control of nothing. Right? And then now at that moment, it was just like, all right, like, this is something that's about to rock my world. Right? And I'd be foolish to think that I can handle it all by myself. Right? And for me, even now to this moment, bro, like, there's like, I pray with my son. Like, we pray with our son, like, every day. We pray, like, every night. Like, I'm praying to myself, like, whatever it is. Like, I'm always having conversations with God, because I'm in the space where I'm at now, bro. And you'll relate to this. Like, every move has to be so methodical, because you are responsible for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So every move that I'm like, you know how hard it is, bro, to try to be right all the time and like try to make the right decisions,
Very,
the time.
very, very hard.
But like, yo, it's with everything, bro. Like, maybe maybe like there's two routes I could take my kids to school. But damn, there's always an accident happening on this one. What if I take this one? It's like this, like, it's with the smallest of things. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I have to rely on something bigger than myself to help guide me in making those decisions. So I'm heavy on my faith, bro. I'm heavy in allowing God to guide me in whichever way he needs me.
Right. Let me give you some perspective. God is everything, like your mom has told you since she was
Yeah.
little. Dios es todo, right? God is everything. God is also within us. And if God is everything and God knows everything and God is also within us, God will never give us a challenge we cannot handle.
So,
Right. So everything in our lives up to today, let's just say, we've always had God in us to show us what we had to do, whether that was to figure it out, whether it wasn't to grow through a challenge, it doesn't matter. It's always been there, which is your expression of something bigger than you has always been there. So yeah, I relate 100% when it comes towards that. We have our childrens that we have to provide for, our significant others that we have to provide for. Like, it's not just only us, but when we do take care of us, we can
man,
do the same
we
for
can do
others,
for every man,
right?
we can do for
And I
others.
feel like a lot of men stay so focused on the outside noise of what society have men look like,
Yep.
opposed to understanding that we have to take care of us first
It's a fact.
before we can take care of anybody else. If we're not doing good and
Nobody.
you're doing it just based off surface level, that
Yep.
catches up.
Yep.
People start to see that. Your family starts to see
You
that
can only do it, but you can only
for so
fake the
long,
funk, but for so
right? For
long,
so
bro,
long.
until you crash out, and then it's just like, where does this come from?
Exactly.
I came from India.
And then you have people, hombre, que go the route of committing suicide or doing this. It's because they just feel that everything is outside of them and not in, right? Which leads up to what I'm doing, right? Because I was there. I've been there. I've been there in my life where I felt like I thought I had everything together. But the reality is I wasn't taking care of me
Yeah.
in order to see that. So when things happen, the biggest challenge happens. If I take it the negative route, I'm going to create a negative experience. But I decided to make it the positive route, right? And now I can help other men with that in that same line, because we don't have that support like women do, bro. We just don't.
Yeah.
It's the reality, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that the world does that to us. We do it to
We do it
ourselves
to
because
ourselves.
we don't
1000.
want to open up. We don't
Yeah.
want to open up. We
We
don't want to be a
isolate
part of
ourselves.
something,
We
etc.
do all of it.
Right. So here's a question that's going to be very intriguing. Do you think pivots are chosen or sometimes forced on us?
I think it's a combination of both. In the reality of it, I think like God will give you I think God is a funny man. I think God is hilarious, dog. Like, because he'll put you in certain situations just to see what decisions you're gonna make.
Right, you have free will.
You
That's your
have
free will.
the
That's your free
power of
will.
choice.
Right, that's your free will.
You have the power of choice, bro. Like you can do as you please, but then you can't complain when things don't go your way when you had an opportunity to make the right decision and you didn't.
So there goes chosen, and there goes the, you said both, and there goes the forced on us.
Yeah.
See, it's whatever decision you decide to
It's
make.
whatever you decide to make. Like just we'll use a simple metaphor, right? If I'm driving a certain way and I'm hitting a certain pothole, if you driving on the FDR, you know you hitting a certain pothole.
A whole
Once you
bunch of
get
them.
to 125th, you hitting that pothole, boom, 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 every time. And you drive it every single day. And then finally comes a day that you drive through it, you hit it, and now you get a flat, and now you're upset. Brother, what
You,
happened the last 15 times you drove through that pothole?
you knew that pothole was
You
there.
knew that pothole was there. You didn't avoid it. You went through it. And now here we are where we are.
Right.
Right.
And then
So
you
I
start
think that
questioning. Then you start questioning why and
why?
this
Why?
and that.
Well, you drove through it again and again and again. So it's like you find yourself in the same, like, there was a period in my life, bro, where the same things were happening around the same time of year.
Okay.
Like Christmases were always difficult, but Christmases came every year.
Because it's not gonna, the
It's not
Christmas is
gonna
not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop
It's
for
not gonna
you.
stop. Christmases were difficult every year for a period of time there. And it's like by the time Christmas would come around, it was just like, oh my God, like we got oh right, we gotta right. And think about it, right? We're talking about materialistic things, whatever, but it's just like when you have nothing and you're conditioned to think a certain type of way, you focus your energy on this thing, which is not really important, but you make it of essence. So now every year it's like, oh my God, oh my God. Like we knew this was coming and we did nothing to prepare ourselves. And we drove ourselves to the point of stress, exhaustion, depression, anxiety in this 30 to 45 days leading up to it. And then it's just like, but we knew it was coming and we did nothing to prepare ourselves for. So whose fault really is it?
I mean, I don't think it's, I wouldn't say it's anybody's fault. It is what it is.
It is what it
But,
is.
but I
But
get what
we
you're
use the
saying.
power of choice.
Of
And
course.
like if we want something to look a certain type of way, then it is up to us to properly prepare ourselves for it.
For sure.
And especially if
100%.
we know that it's something that's redundant and it's coming around,
For sure. For sure.
like we know this is coming again, but we're still not choosing to properly prepare ourselves for it.
That's the hard headedness
That's
in the human. We're
yeah.
complicated as shit. We're
It's like we
complicated.
love to feel pain. We love to feel like that pressure. Nah, dog, suelta eso.
So let me ask you it. Let me ask you this. So you became a dad 18 years old. You joined the army after that.
I joined the army at 23.
Okay. Now stay right there.
Yeah.
Stay right there. Was that a forced pivot? You having to join the army?
Yes.
Okay. Stay right there.
Yes.
Stay
I'll
right
say
there.
yes.
Stay
I'll
right
say
there.
yes.
Okay. So the reason why I say this is because your dad, 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? You might not have the entrepreneur mindset you have now then. So
Yeah.
you're trying to figure out how can I make money, this and this and this and that. So it goes back to the question, right? Now, forced pivots doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Obviously, you're
No.
doing things to figure it out,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But that point in your life, 23 years old, Angel at 23, had a forced pivot on him, which was to join the army,
Mm-hmm.
right? For whatever reason that was. We don't have to say the reason, but for whatever reason it was a pivot in your life that forced you to take certain actions, right? Now, in that, were there any setbacks while you were in the army? Setbacks could have been you away from your kid, you're away from
Yeah, bro.
your
I mean,
mom.
being in the army was tough, bro. Like, especially like you leave for those initial months for boot camp and stuff like that. Like boot camp is crazy. within itself. Like boot camp is nuts, bro.
Seen videos, but I'm sure
I did it in Fort Benning, Georgia, in the middle of the summer, bro. Like it is, yeah, it's we in the
hot.
mountains, bro, up there. But the lack of communication
Mm.
with my family was crazy. Like, and leading up to it, like when it comes to like a forced pivot, like you get to a point in your life where it's just like, yo, I have to do something. Right. Like, and for me at that point, although I did have my daughter at 18, I was able to, like, I ended up taking like almost like a year and a half, 2 years off from school, so I ended up going away to college when I was 20, playing college ball, doing like living, like still being able to live out my dream. And then by the time I was wrapping up, like my daughter was starting school, but now it's just like now reality's hitting because, thank God I had the village that I did with my mom and my aunts and my cousins. They were able to help me out during that time. But it gets to the point where it's just like, yo, like I'm a man, bro. Like I gotta go figure this out, you know. And you add to the fact that at the time I met Steph. And Steph was already working in corporate America and doing her thing. So now it's just like I'm a lifeguard at this point. Like I'm playing college ball and then I'm lifeguarding to like try to make some money. Right. But then it's just like I need to do something different. I need something to point me. I need a pivot to point me in the right trajectory. And going to the military, I felt for me was the answer. And it was hard, bro. Like that day I left base in Brooklyn and I knew I wasn't seeing my family for X amount of months, bro. Like it was heartbreaking. Like not being able to communicate with my family, it was heartbreaking. Like it was just letters, calls every once in a blue moon, But there's also a gift and a curse with that because in isolation, away from my family, like I really found out what I was capable of doing and becoming. Like I really found out, like I always knew, like I've never lacked confidence. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
I've never been shy, you know, with confidence, but it's just like now I'm really a dog, bro. Now I'm really like now I'm really like mentally like I've always been mentally tough, but like now, like going into the military, like having to sacrifice being away from my family for months at a time, like and so many other things that I endured, bro. Like I was dealing with like at the same time, my Jasmine's mom isn't my wife. So now I'm dealing with external stuff. Like I'm not able to pick up the phone and call home and see what's going on to find out my daughter to move states without
Mm,
my acknowledgement. Like I
mm.
didn't know what was going on. I'm just finding out every once in a blue when I get my phone. Like I'm dealing with so many other personal things, but at the same time, it's like, and it's a crazy metaphor, crazy analogy, but it's like you a butterfly, right? You in this cocoon, right? And the world is happening around you and you move and you trying to figure it out because like in all this pain and growth and isolation, like something phenomenal is about to happen. Like
That's how it is.
I'm really on the verge of stepping into the best version of myself. And the world is just left hooking me, right hooking me, and I'm just holding it. I'm just on the ropes. I'm just holding. Till finally I finish it. I come back home, and now it's just like, all right, now I'm in a better place. Now I have the foundation. Now I have the mental toughness that I feel I needed, and the discipline, most importantly, that I needed to help now guide me into the real life.
At that age too.
At that age, at 22, 23 years, at 23 years old, like, and it's so crazy, bro. At 23 years old, I was one of the oldest guys in my platoon in the army. Everybody in there, 17, 18 years old. I'm there, 2 kids. Why? Like, I'm there, like, I'm trying to, dog, I got stuff to take care of, B.
Right. So, okay. So that was a forced pivot right there.
Yeah.
Now, so people understand pivots don't necessarily mean there's anything wrong going on,
No,
anything
no.
bad going on. Pivots are lessons in our lives that we take as things that we need to change, right? So your forced pivot going to the army, you had your, being away from your family, being away from your child, learning things throughout being over there in the army at that time. You couldn't use your phone, etc. Now, check this out. Chosen pivot. You're an entrepreneur. You're
Mhm.
married.
Mm-hmm.
right? So you said something very important in what you were sharing about your forced pivot was that you were building a foundation because you were away from the women in your family that
Yeah.
basically raised you.
Yeah.
You saw that you can do this on your own. You grew a strong foundation for you on your own, right? And it leads up to years later, which you don't know how long it takes, but it happened years later where you become an entrepreneur. You are married, right? You have another kid, right? So everything is always going to work for you when you choose happiness over chaos. When you choose the
Brother,
positive route on
brother,
anything that happens, any circumstance, when you choose the happiness out of it, regardless of what it is that's going on, you'll see later on, no matter how long it takes, there
brother.
will always be that light at the end of the tunnel, like everybody says, right?
Preaching. You preaching.
That's a lot of
You
work. That's a lot of work right there.
church. Preaching. You preaching.
Okay. So let's talk about fatherhood and family.
Yeah.
Right now, you're a father, you're a stepdad, and a husband. How did becoming a father pivot your perspective on life? Now, I know you shared with when you had your first, right? But now
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about your stepson. We're talking about your younger son, right? Now, like you are with your family together, living.
Yeah.
So, how did becoming a father, a family man, pivot your perspective on life?
I had no idea that I had no idea, number one, what I was doing. There was no blueprint.
There's
You
never
know,
a blueprint.
there was no blueprint. There was no like my dad was never around. You know what I mean? So there was no mirror to look at. There was nothing to see and be like, all right, that's what I want to do. Like, that's how I'm gonna do it. So everything for me, like the foundation of me being a father, bro, has always been be there. Be there. I don't know, like, I don't know what else, just be there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's how it started, right? Be there for the kids, like be there, be present. Like, how can I be more like everything just became about what how present I can be. And for me, bro, like having living with my family and and having that dynamic, it made me aware of how powerful I am, right? And not from a physical standpoint, right? But in my presence. Like I want my presence to be
It's your
felt,
energy.
but my energy is powerful. Like there's days I'm coming home upset, everybody feels it. The energy shifts. Now everybody's a little bit more quiet in the house. Everybody's like, it's like I'm the boogeyman. Everybody kind of like avoids me, right? But then it's just like you see the shift when you prioritize peace, happiness, self-worth, love, and like all of that now is just like it's Candyland, bro. Like everything is sweet, everything is great, you know. And for me, when it comes to being a father, like I it's hard, bro. It's hard because we talk about, you know, like trying to be fair and equal and all that. Like it's hard. Like I got a daughter and then I got two sons, right? So it's like how I speak to my daughter is a little bit different than how I speak to my boys. It's the same message.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's the same
It's a
message,
little
right?
softness you gotta
A
have with
little
with the
softness that I have on my daughter
not
more than
softer, is a
not softer,
softness.
but it's just
Yeah.
like I gotta speak to her in a certain tone, so she's a female, so she don't completely shut. Now my boys is like, yo, dog, like, boy, come on, dog, stop playing. Like, I stone cold stunning you right here, bro. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? And for me, bro, like I've always, I think I tell my kids I love them a lot, all of them, you know, and I want them to know that. I want them to know that I love them. I want them to know that they are loved. I want them to know, like, I never want my children, bro, to never feel like they can't come home.
Mm,
So I
that's
I
very,
give so much
very,
love,
that's very important right there.
yo, bro, and like not for nothing, because you know we got teenagers, bro. Yo, teenagers be wilding, bro.
I agree.
Yo,
I
bro,
agree.
teenagers be wilding, bro. I got a couple grades they bringing in, bro.
I think I see
Like
him on the side.
you see them, right? But they coming in crispy with the fade though. But
It still look good. It
still
still
look
look
good.
good.
Waves are still spinning, so I'm good. But it's just like, despite everything, bro, I've always want my children to feel like they are loved, to feel like I got them, to feel like they're safe with me. Another aspect that's been really important to me is showing my children how much I love my wife. Like, especially with Jazz and Jordan. You know what I mean? Like Jazz, I had her
They've
with another
seen
woman.
they've seen
They've seen
different
different,
things already. Yeah,
they've
I'm
seen
with you
different,
right there. I'm with you right there. Yeah.
they've seen different things, bro. So it's important for me that they see what a healthy relationship looks like, what love looks like. Because love is beautiful, you know, with the right person. It's not always perfect, but it's beautiful. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Especially
then
when it's unconditionally, especially when it's unconditional.
especially when it's unconditional, bro. So, it really, like, there's certain, things, foundation of love, communication, respect. Respect is big in my house. You can't just talk to nobody the way you want to talk to somebody, you know. And it's important for me that my children know that, I know that, my wife knows that. Like, we don't even talk to each other in a certain type of way, you know, because we wanna receive, we wanna give what we want to receive.
Of course, that's what that's about.
That's what it really comes down to, man. So, like, my parenting, bro, like, I think I'm a fun dad. I think I'm a cool dad. I'm definitely I'm tougher than my wife, for sure. For sure. I'm definitely tougher than my wife, but but my kids will tell you, and my wife will
She's
tell
gonna
you,
hear she's gonna hear this when it publishes.
she is, and she ain't gonna deny it. But they'll combat that with, say he's tough, and the second sentence that'll come out their mouth, like, yo, he's the softest person in the world.
Yeah, but those are energies. It's not really that. No es algo que sale de que a physical thing.
No,
It's not a
no.
physical thing.
No, and I allow them to see that version of me, bro. I allow
It's
I allow
good.
my children to see every version of me,
It's
because
good.
I don't ever want them to not feel connected to me. Like, yo, I never understood dad, bro. Like, dad was here, but he was bugging.
I talked about that in one of my episodes of my pops, how I was raised and stuff like that. That's
Like, I
the
don't
beauty. That's the beauty of us being now. For example, you didn't have a male figure in your life to raise you, right? Women raised you. The women that raised you. Shout out to the women that raised you in your
shout out to
family,
them.
by the way. Right? They gave you the type of love that the feminine energy brings out in men.
Yeah.
Right? Because see, men think that there's no such thing as having a feminine energy, bro.
No, you have to. You have to.
I'll give you a perfect example. Who hunts? A lion or a lioness?
That's a fact. The lioness.
It's not the man that hunts.
Not
The
the male
man is
lion.
just
He's
there to
sleeping.
protect.
They
He's just there
there.
to protect, sleeping lazy as hell. But I'll tell you this. I'll
But
tell
when
you this
they up,
though.
they up.
When he feels that something is threatening their family, he's
When
up.
he's up, he's up.
Right? So the feminine energy, you've been blessed to have that feminine energy raise you. And then you've also been blessed to be away when you went to the army to build your own structure of what a man could be for you, since you didn't have that male figure in your life, right? See, for me, I had my mom and pops. And even though my mom and pops separated when I was 12, my dad was still there.
Yeah.
Just like you said, every weekend, my dad did not miss a weekend. That dude was there. You get what I'm saying? Might have not been the best husband in the world, but he was the greatest father in the
Yeah.
world. And with
He's
his grandkids,
he's
forget
even
about it.
crazier.
Bro, I had a conversation with my brother when I'm telling my brother, like, bro, we get jealous of how he treats his grandkids, bro. Like, he didn't treat us like that when we were growing up, right? He didn't treat us like that. And the beauty is that we learn, right? We learn. And one thing I've learned being a father is that I don't need to raise my kids the way my dad raised me. It doesn't make him wrong. Doesn't mean that how he raised me is wrong. That's not what I mean. What I'm getting at is that our kids, this generation, right, if they're treated with unconditional love, if they're treated with respect, because the thing is, we grew up thinking that our voice were not
Disrespect.
heard by our parents.
That it was disrespect.
It was disrespectful. If you said something,
Oh my Lord.
see,
Oh,
that's not the world we live in.
yeah. Yeah.
It's not
Kids are
the world we
vocal.
live in. Right? And we have to show our kids from now that their voice is heard. And it starts with
Yes.
us. It starts at home.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because then they go out to
1000%.
the real world. If you're not doing that, they go out to the real world. All they're going to do is dim their light. Right? For me, I've had many pivots. As a
Yeah,
father,
yeah, yeah.
bro, I have a transgender son.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have a lesbian daughter.
Mm-hmm.
My little one is autistic.
Yeah.
Those are pivots.
Those are
But they
major
each
pivots.
taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
Right? Unconditional love, being more mindful, being
Mm-hmm.
more loving, being more patient.
Yes.
And these are things my dad did not have me
Mm.
growing up. Okay. And again, that's not to say that the way my dad raised me to be a great man. It doesn't mean he didn't. But I don't have to raise my kids the way my dad raised me
Yo, bro,
or my
my
brother.
therapist, bro, he gave me this bar like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I've been working with him now for over 3 years. And I use this like on every chance that I get. The circumstances dictate the tactics.
Ooh,
Yo, bro, I say that, Raul, on a very consistent, the circumstances dictate the tactics, bro. Because like, you know how much you love your children. I know how much I love my children. Like, but when the circumstances that you can't move in a certain way for everybody.
you can't.
You can't
I
be
agree.
so rigid. You gotta be able to bend sometimes. I'm not saying to fold.
Right,
I'm
right, right, right. Just a little bend. Just a
I,
little
right.
bend.
Like I'm not changing. Like when I speak to my daughter, bro, like I love my daughter. There's moments, bro, where I'm just like holding my throat, not even swallowing my spit, because some of the stuff she's telling me that's going on in high school is crazy. Raul, I'm losing it. Side kids are doing what? With
Yeah.
who and where? But I gotta
I've
sit
heard it.
there.
I've heard it. Me and Angie have heard it also, bro.
I
It's
gotta sit
crazy.
there, bro, and I gotta swallow my pride. I gotta take away the ego. I gotta take, like, I tell my kids all the time, like, there's moments I have invisible hats.
So let me ask you a question.
Cause,
In those
bro,
moments, are you losing toughness or you are just respecting by listening to your daughter?
I ain't gonna lose no toughness, Raul. I'm just,
But it's just
no, but
just putting it out there.
for me, it's respect.
You're listening to her. She's being heard.
For me, it's respect. And for me, is understanding or trying to understand her perspective because I've never been a 16-year-old little girl. I don't know, like, her world looks very different in her eyes from what it does from mine.
Of course.
I'm in
Of course.
constant protection. This is like I'm in constant dad mode. She's in,
That's our kids.
you know, and it's just like, okay, like let me see how you're navigating through life. So in order for me to see how you're navigating through life, sometimes, like, I got 2 ears and one mouth, so I can listen twice as much as I talk. Like, let me listen to you. So then, in moments where I do see a a teachable moment, I can teach you, I can guide you. I'm
No
never like,
control.
what's so
No
crazy, bro?
control. No control though.
I never tell my kids
Listen
like
up, parents. Listen up, parents. He just said something very important. Teachable moments when to teach.
when to
Teaching
teach.
the teaching doesn't mean control your kids.
No, no, because then they come out worse. Then they
Exactly.
come out worse. Like, like, I have to give you the space to make mistakes. Now, granted, some mistakes are bigger than others, but it just means the lesson in how we teach has to be either, I wouldn't say more stern, but I would say in the way we teach lessons in hard mistakes, it really depicts and it really forms the kind of future you're going to be able to have with your kids.
Yes, I agree.
And even if there are moments where, because it's going to happen, bro. Like, there's going to be moments where you may react in a certain type of way, right? You may say something, whatever, but it's just like, how quick can you catch yourself to now apologize and grow from that moment? Because you also got to teach yourself. You're not always right.
I mean, it's a mirror to you. It's going to be a mirror to
You know,
you at some point.
you're not always right. Like, at some point, it's gonna come down to what you didn't do. Like, you're not always gonna be right. So, like, bro, like, with the, especially again with these teenagers, because they giving me a run for my money. It's just like it's so funny. Like, yesterday, Jordan had gotten in trouble for some stuff, and he was going out. Like, stuff was dropping him off at his friend's house, right? And before he left, like, everybody's in the car. Steph is in the car with the rest of the kids, and Jordan's walking to the car. I'm like, listen to me. Listen to me. I love you. Whatever you're thinking about doing, don't do it. because when you fuck up, that fucks my shit up, son. So now I'm trying to, like, I'm talking to my son in a different way. Like, yo, dog, if your mom come in here upset at you, way somehow, I gotta deal with. Don't do that.
Don't do that to
And if
me.
you need
Don't
something,
do that to me.
call me. Don't do that
Right.
to me, bro. Like, I
Right.
got you. Like, use me. I'm here with you. You know,
So
but there's a lot of teachable moments, bro.
for sure. I have this saying, right? If you are a controlling parent, is it because you want to control your kids, or is it because you don't trust how you raised your kids? See, because if you trust how you raise your kids, you don't
A
need to
tough pill to
control them.
swallow for some people, yeah.
You don't need to you don't need to control them. If you trust how you raised your kids, then you trust them to make the best decision for themselves. And if they
Yeah.
make a decision that they have to learn from, that's on them also. It has nothing to do
That's
how
on
you
them.
parent. The thing is that sometimes us parents, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but it has to do with control. It has nothing to do with trust. Because again, if you trust yourself as how well you raised your kids, there's no need for control. No need. The lesson will come to them when they need to know it. Now,
The time that they
obviously,
need to know it.
right, obviously, you're the parent. You're going to always be there for them. If they fucked up in something because of the decision that they decided to make, you're there to guide them through that, not to tell them, I told you ass, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's
That
not
doesn't
how it
resolve
goes.
anything. If
That's
anything,
how
bro, it
we
just
were
cuts
raised.
off communication. It
Right.
cuts off communication.
Think about this, right? Growing up, we were basically controlled. It is
For
what it
sure.
is. But
For
that's why we
sure.
rebelled. That's why we rebelled. And that's why we did
That's
things
why we was
behind
outside.
That's why we did things behind our parents' backs, because they didn't trust. And it wasn't that they didn't trust us, they didn't trust themselves. So when you look at it now, they didn't trust how they raised us, which is fucked up if you think about it, right? Why would you not trust how you raised us? You get what I'm saying? Especially for us boys, que loco, second floor of the fire escape brincaba to a car that's parked outside.
Bro.
You get what I'm
Yo,
saying?
bro. I
I'm
used to be
rebelling.
on top of the shower curtain. Why? I
I
was on top like that, bro, on top of it until that shit popped one day, bro, and
for
I
no
fell in the
reason.
tub.
You know, certain
Yo,
things like that too. Certain things like that too. I remember when I used to do things like that, because us boys, we love to adventure since we're little. My father will allow me to do something, and the way I will learn not to do it again is si yo me caigo, me doy, or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And he'll tell my
yeah,
mom not to get involved. Let him
yeah,
figure that shit out. If he's if he's going on top of the bed and jumping to the couch, let him keep doing that shit until he falls. My dad was
yeah.
like that, right? But my
You
dad
know,
also was a little controlling.
I'm like that to a degree as well too, because like you also, I feel like you also got to see what you made of, and you got to see what you got.
You got to test it. You got to
Got to
test it.
test it. Like,
You got
dog,
to test it.
like, you know the times like my kids done fell off of some high ass monkey bars, and I'm just there. Like,
I fell off monkey bars before, bro. Hit my chest one time, bro.
yeah, but you gotta. So you're gonna learn. All right, it's either I could do it, or maybe that wasn't the
Maybe
best
not.
idea I had today. But you're gonna learn something.
Right. You know, with Castiel, who's the youngest one, he's about to be 5 in 3 days.
Crazy.
One thing we've never done is project things on him. What do I mean by
Yeah,
that? Right. So, kid is playing with a cup. Kid's imagination is open to just playing with the cup. He ain't
yeah.
thinking about the cup falling. He not keep thinking about the cup breaking. He's just thinking about playing with the cup. Here's
Mm-hmm.
biggest mistake a parent can do. Don't play with that. You might drop it. It could break. Now you're projecting onto him where he wasn't thinking about that.
You wasn't
Now
even
guess
thinking
what?
about it.
Now guess what? He plays with it. He drops it on the floor. It breaks. So I agree. We do got to allow our kids to see how far they can go with whatever they're doing. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna be there. If he's playing with the glass cup, I didn't project nothing into him, and the glass cup fell. Hey, it's okay. It broke. Get him away from it so he doesn't get cut. That's it. But when we project things onto our kids, we're doing that to them. It's not, their imagination is so open, they don't think about those things at all.
Like, and it's like once you know better, you do better, right?
Of course. Of
So,
course.
and it's gonna sound. I don't think it sounds. I don't give a shit, honestly. But like Amari, my youngest, gets the best version of my wife and myself. We learn through Jazz, learn through Jordan. Like it's just the cycle of life.
It's just
Like,
you learned already through the certain
bro,
things.
you circumstances dictate the tactics, right? So I learned with Jazz and Jordan, and now here's the younger one. Bro, like I'm so I'm so diligent and careful with the words that I speak to my son. Like I really watch my mouth, bro. Like with my son, like with my youngest son, like I really watch my mouth because I'm building someone of like world beware, bro. Like I'm building someone of extreme confidence, not
Right,
arrogance, but someone
right,
who believes in himself
right.
by the work that he puts in. Like my son at 7 years old, bro, like academically, like is excelling. My son at 7 years old, like athletically, he's excelling. And like the
That's awesome.
process to get him to do and be and accomplish these things, like it requires love, it requires patience, it requires like positive affirmations, bro. Like my son starts his days with personal development.
Awesome.
Like my son starts his days like listening, like getting things in his head that's gonna help him, that's gonna help him grow. Like, bro, like we have this mantra that we say before he goes, before he goes anywhere. Like, today's gonna be a good day. I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm brave. Like today's gonna be a good day. Like I speak so much life into him, bro, because nah, bro. We gonna
Yeah,
be we gonna be exactly who we need to be.
right. I literally just sent not too long. I sent Angie before, probably before we got on the call, a video of a guy who teaches kids those certain same like that's his teachings, teaching kids that
Mm-hmm.
they need to tap into themselves, understand that they're the ones that are brave, that they're the ones that are smart, that they're the ones that are can accomplish anything that they want. Literally said that. So that's a great thing that you guys are doing, man. Shout out to you and Steph on raising. And I think I saw a video of Steph doing now. You guys are homeschooling
Yeah, bro.
Amari,
We
right?
made that. We
We
made a pivot. We made
we
a
made
pivot.
we've been homeschooling Castiel since Castiel has not gone to
That's
school.
amazing. Like that's
Homeschool.
amazing, bro. Like we literally just started it, bro, a couple weeks ago, and it's just like he's breathing a breath of fresh air.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
Like
he
he's
will.
like he's
A lot of parents are afraid of that because they think that they will lose their social abilities, right? But that's why you put your kids in camp. That's why you put your kids in
that's why
sport.
that's more like the stigma for that is for like people who want to just keep the kids to themselves, bro. Like,
Right. Like for
nah,
example,
bro. Like
Castiel is homeschool. You don't go to school, but when he sees kids, that doesn't. He has no clue
it doesn't
what not being social is. He just goes play
yeah,
with kids. So
like I
again,
have Amari. Come on, like
again,
he's
that
in
goes back.
everywhere.
Right. Again, that goes back to us projecting onto our kids, right? Just because
Yeah.
your kid is being homeschooled does not mean that they're not going to be social. It doesn't mean that. I'm telling you, my son is a proven point that he has not been to pre-K, K, negative K, whatever those things are called. But he
Negative
sees
is crazy.
kids, he sees kids and instantly his social skills are there. You get what I'm saying?
It just goes.
Playing and running, it just goes with it. But
We're the ones who diminish it because
and we
of what
start
we
thinking
decide to
all these
project out.
things. Yeah, we start thinking, oh, if they don't go to school, he's not gonna be social, and it's gonna mess up how
Yo,
he. No, we don't need to do that.
that couldn't be the furthest from the truth, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. Like my son, he goes anywhere. Like he's chopping it up with everybody. He's playing, he's hanging out. There's some kids playing ball. He's pooping. If he's not, he's running around. You want to play tag? You want to play tag? Let's do it. Like he's with
He's being a
whatever.
kid because
Being a
that's
kid,
nature. It's nature for kids. It's nature for kids,
you
bro.
know. But yeah, man, that homeschooling thing, bro. I love it, bro. I love it.
It's awesome. So, okay, what values do you want your kids to carry them from your own pivots?
The importance of self-love, the importance of discipline. Want them to I'm like there's certain just core values and principles that I want my children to have in this life, bro. But this actually reminds me of a conversation I was having with Steph a couple days ago when this homeschooling thing came about, that it was just like, yo, like I feel like a lot of people, they want their kids to be well financially. They want them to, get married, have a career, do this, do that. Like very seldomly, bro, do I hear parents say that they want their children to be happy.
Hmm. And happiness is all, bro. Because with happiness,
Like
all the other stuff come. Everything else comes with
everything
happiness.
else. Like I want my children in whatever way, whatever route God sends them on, you know, like I want them to find happiness in who they are and what they do. Happiness, you know, with the person that, you know, eventually they'll decide to be with one day. Like I want you to find happiness, bro. You know, and on top of that, I want my children to learn the importance of prioritizing peace.
Mm,
And
yes.
with that comes, I want them to also learn the importance of boundaries.
Oh, yes.
Like boundaries is very important. Yo, Raul, like I have this, like
Yes.
Stephanie thinks I'm a nut, but I still take a couple things from the army with me to this day, you know, and I will protect my home against foreign and domestic terrorism. Nobody inside this house, nobody outside this house can mess up what goes on in this house. Like pieces of not a friend, not a cousin,
Nobody.
not
Nobody.
a nobody.
That's,
Nobody can, and I want my children to understand the importance of that as well too. Like maybe, you know, in another 30, 40 years, I'm an old ass grumpy man. And dad is bugging out. Yo, dad, you can't now. You bug. All right, cool.
you know,
Set your boundaries.
right. I think people have misunderstood what boundaries are. Boundaries are something very healthy to have in relationships,
It's
bro.
important. Oh my God, it's great. It's great.
Talking about, and I'm not talking about just because people automatically assume when you say relationship, they're talking about your significant. No, in every
On
relationship,
any relationship,
any
your boss,
relationship
your
that you
friend,
have, boundaries are the
whoever.
healthiest things you can have. Boundaries, the thing is, here's what it is. Boundaries stem from something you truly want to keep, right? And then when you share that boundary because it's truth and it sounds aggressive, people automatically think you're being a bitch, an asshole, and this,
The
and you're not.
nerve.
Right,
The
exactly.
nerve.
But only if people knew how healthy it is to have boundaries, right? For example, it's a boundary. Don't use my towel because when I go take a shower, my towel is wet. I don't like it. That is a boundary. But imagine suppressing that. Imagine not
But
saying it.
that's real life stuff though, bro.
If okay, put it like this: if you use the towel, just get me another one that's dry. Porque cómo tú te secas con with a towel that's already wet?
Yo, bro, this is about to turn into a pet peeve conversation. Yo, bro, the
But you get
amount
what I'm
of time.
saying.
No,
Boundaries
I
are
get
healthy.
boundaries. They're
And
important,
you
bro.
and the person in whatever relationship you have doesn't know these things. They don't know. You cannot blame
They
them.
don't think you're doing anything.
Exactly. So when you set the boundary, the person knows about the boundary. The line doesn't get crossed, and if it does, that is a discussion to
Now
have.
you
Hey,
gotta. Now I gotta check it. Now I
right.
gotta. Hey, man, you remember when I? Come on,
Hey,
dog.
so it's important, bro. Boundaries are
It's a.
healthy as fuck, man. People
And I
think that
want
they're
my
not.
kids. I want my kids, bro. I want my kids to have that, bro. You know, the happiness, the discipline, because they're gonna like in whatever route they want to accomplish in life, they're gonna need discipline. They're gonna need they're gonna need to find something that they focus on and put their attention to. Like they're gonna need to be consistent. But I want my children, bro. I want the world for them. I want the world for them, but I want them to go get it.
Right.
You
Earn it.
know, me and my wife got, we got. I want you, like we got you too, right? But I want you to go do you, boo.
Like Shaq said, I'm rich.
I'm yo
Y'all not
Raul,
rich.
I'm all right. Raul, I'm all right. These little broke ass motherfuckers in here. I don't
Yo,
even know these dudes
When
at all.
Shaq said that, bro, when Shaq said that, face expression was crazy, bro.
He ain't lying though.
Right, man. I get that for sure. I respect that. So, how important is it? How important is the role of being a stepdad?
This is gonna get deep. So being a stepdad is an underlying blessing that you never knew you could do, or most importantly, you never knew that you needed.
I will say needed for sure
Like you
because
needed.
I definitely needed it.
I didn't know I could like because you think about it, like really think about it. Like tap into your 18, 19, 20 year old you. That? Eh? I'm not messing with no chick that got no kid, bro.
Right. That's the hood
I'm
mentality for sure.
like the optics of that. I'm not doing that. But then you like get into the situation, right? And at first, at first is rocky. At first, it's a very touchy lane, right? Because depending on your partner, right, you're going to either have a diminished role,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
This is very important right here. Keep going. This is very important.
or or you're going to have a very hands-on role, right? It depends on two things, I believe. It depends on just my experience. It depends on your partner, right? And then it also depends on the other person they had a child with.
Mm-hmm.
If that person is actively in their lives and making their presence be felt for their child,
Mm-hmm.
or they're not,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
right? So in my circumstances, right, like Stephanie was very like, yo, this is my son. Cool, cool, right? But it got to a point where it was just like I can't do everything that you want me to do and asking of me to do if my role here is going to be I can only do but
It's
so
cut
much.
short. It's cut short. No, for sure.
You're not even giving me like and I'm trying to give you the space, right? Because I understand, yes, this is your son. This is but if you are coming to me as a man, as a partner, like look, like this is a package and I get that, right? Like this is a package deal like like and for me like yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it now. Like I'm in it. But then it's just like, all right, listen, bro. If my role is gonna be limited, then we gotta limit this shit all the way around.
Yeah, it got to
But
be everything,
understand that it's not you're not allowing me to fully be who I am
which is
by
important.
just giving me by
Which is
giving me half
important.
the role. Like
Right.
you hired me, you interviewed me, right? You did the interview and all that, right? But then this really important part of the job, you can only do it on Monday and Tuesdays. Everything else, well, nah, like if I'm doing it, let me do it. Right. And that was also a hard lesson for her to learn, because it's like she's trusting me to love her, to care for her, to provide for her, to love her son, to respect him, to teach him, to help grow and mold him into a young man. Like, yo, I love this man and I trust. Let me step back.
That's tough. That's
And
tough.
once
That's tough for the woman
that's
too.
tough for her too, because she had to let go, right? But the moment she started to let go, the relationship between me and my stepson just began. It just took off because now he's getting that man to man interaction. Now he's getting that time. Now he's getting all of these things that I felt I was kind of restricted to in the past. Now it's just me and him. And when I say that it was something I didn't know I needed, bro, it comes from a place of me not having my dad in my life, not having my father in the picture. Like I saw my dad, bro, every 4 or 5 years. Like every Olympics, that's when I saw my dad, bro. Like real life. I remember the summer of '96, right? I was still living in the Heights, saw my dad. That's when the Olympics was here in Georgia. Then in 2000, he came back. They was in Sydney. Like I remember every Olympics because that was when I saw my dad. I saw him that summer, the summer of the Olympics. I knew I I'm lying. I didn't know where all like my frustration and my anger stemmed from, right? Until I got older and I realized it was the neglect of of that specific male figure in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm raising a little boy who's experiencing the same things, right? But now his frustration is double-sided because he knows his father. and he knows his father's not there. But now he sees me in the house, and it's just like, yo, who's this nigga? like, who is this guy, bro? And why is he telling me I gotta brush my teeth and clean like before I go? Like, who is this man? You know? And I had to earn his love. I had to earn his respect. I had to earn everything that me and Jordan have now. I had to earn it through consistency. And me being a consistent person in his life has led to us now having the relationship that we have today, bro, because in me being that consistent person for him, I'm serving myself too.
Of course, you're giving yourself
And I'm
what you
seeing
didn't have when you were
what I
younger.
didn't have. And I'm seeing now his mannerisms, right? Like little homie just went the other day, early in the morning, right before
That's an Agramonte right there, bro. He's an
that's a
Agramonte,
you
bro.
know, and like I seen that little boy the other day. He's like, yeah, you know, I want to go get some flowers. So, all right, cool. Like he's watching what I do. Cool. Hey, yo, how was it, boy? Like, you know, like, yeah, yo, hey, it was cool. Like, you know what I'm so it's just like he's seeing how I act, he's seeing how I'm with his mom, like he's seeing all these things, and it's just like, yeah, man, like I needed to show him what me being here looks like. Because even though and rightfully so, like I listen, bro, like I'm not filling nobody's shoes. I'm not doing none of that. Right. But he knows what the deal is. Like he knows what's the situation with his pops. And he himself still has stuff he has to deal with, you know, internally. But I know that at least for me, I can cover even one aspect of it by being who I've been to him, you
For
know,
sure.
and it just and as he's gotten older, bro, it's gotten a lot better, you know, and it's gonna continue to grow and get better. Like we're spending more one-on-one time, you know. And for me, bro, it's like it's one of the most important relationships in my life,
I feel the same. I feel the
you know,
same.
because some people look at their step kids, bro, like as just somebody who's like he's not even my step kid, bro. Like this nigga, yo, but
It's
he's
your
with me.
kid.
What are you talking about, bro?
Jasleen is my
Like
daughter, bro.
Like, what are we talking about here? Like, and it's so fun. Like, we laugh. Like, we have moments. Like, we was in Puerto Rico over the summer, and we in the elevator, and we just chopping it up in the elevator. Some old lady goes in the elevator. She goes, "Oh my God, that's your son." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my son." She goes, "Oh my God, you guys are twins." What? And we just start laughing.
It's crazy you say that because people have even told Angie that Jasleen looks like me.
But the thing is, y'all at least the same complexion.
Well, we are.
Casper White, bro.
Jordan is white. Yeah, he is white.
Jordan's Casper White, bro. I'm here in all this caramel deliciousness, and this lady talk about, oh, y'all twins. Fuck what? But you know, but we laugh,
Man,
you know, we laugh about it. We have a good time about it, you know, and it's just, you know, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing that I didn't know I needed, man. And it's really like having Jordan in my life, bro, has made me a better father.
it's great, man. I'm glad to hear that, bro.
You know, because everything with Jazz and Amari, like, and you know this in like in just Dominican, la sangre llama, like the saying, like, right, like just
Yeah,
naturally you grab, you like whatever, right? And it's like, nah, bro, like with Jordan, I've had to work for, like I had to work to love him.
I get it.
Like I had to work, and like I had to learn how to love this kid like he's mine.
Yeah, and
You
I know
know,
that has to do a lot with that comes from obviously having a lot to do with you not having that male figure in your life too.
for sure.
Because for me, it was a little different. I made a decision when Angie and I became like exclusive, like this was it, right? I made a decision very early on that I'm not going to treat Jasleen any different than my child.
Yeah,
And I think when Angie noticed that, she didn't have to interfere. But she also knew that I had the male figure in my life to have that structure. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I'm not saying that you don't have any structure. That's not what I mean, because clearly we know you do. But you had to approach it differently because you didn't have the male figure.
yeah,
And Jasleen's dad is very well in her life. It's not like he isn't.
yeah,
But she knows I'm not here to replace your father. We have
Yeah.
a beautiful relationship,
Yeah,
and
y'all really, bro, and it's a beautiful thing, bro. God
and
bless
like
that,
and
bro.
like I said, people have told Angie, have told me it's crazy how people thought she was my child. She didn't even know she was my stepdaughter. And obviously she is my child, like you just said, Jordan is yours.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been raising Jasmine since she was 5 years old, even though her
yeah,
biological father's there, but she lives with me. You
yeah.
get what I'm saying? And bro, we have I have our relationship with all my kids are different. All three of them, they're all different. But one thing I've never done from the beginning is treat my kids different. We have different relationships, but treating them has never been different.
Yeah.
And I think
Like
that
it's
was the
love, bro. Like,
right, the biggest lesson for me there was the having unconditional love for them.
and that's it. Like that without the shadow. And it took time, bro, because again, my role at first was a little bit diminished. So I couldn't give you all of me. And
Right,
once I
right.
was able to, it was just like, nah, bro, like it's cool. Like I
Yeah,
love you, bro. Like God, like you crazy, bro.
yeah.
I took him to the World Baseball Classic last year, bro. Little homie wanted a Dominican hat. Like that's how Dominican he's become, bro.
He's Dominican, bro. The dude is
He's
Dominican.
not even Puerto Rican no more. Kid is well, I'm
All right.
baptized.
Let's all right, so let's move on to brotherhood and support. In those seasons where you had to pivot, who was there for you? How important was brotherhood during those moments? If you had
So
somebody, obviously.
yeah, no, man. Like I've been blessed, bro, because I've been able to have some very powerful and impactful relationships, at different points in my life in moments where I may not have known it, but I needed it, So it's like I got my core. I got my group. I think we all do. Like everybody has a core group of guys that they've known for years and stuff like that. So I got my brothers, Jeremy, Mike, Left, Ray. I got my brothers, man. And then it's like there's people that I've met along my journey, you know, during those pivotal moments, like, yo, bro, like you were a major part of that. Like you have been a major part in my life in terms of just being just level-headed, guidance wise, especially when I got into an entrepreneurial space that was dominated by females.
Mm.
Like, why the fuck am I here? Like, there's me and three other guys here. Why the fuck am I here? Like, you know, like there's people that, I've gotten the opportunity to tell them this, but even, through distance, like, yo, like I was able to build a real dope relationship with Jay Webb. You know
My
what I
guy.
mean? Like Jay Webb's my guy, bro. Build a dope relationship with Steve. Like Steve's my guy, bro. Like there's people like along my way, bro. Like I've been able to lean on and ask for guidance. And I think that being in a space where as a man you can seek guidance and you want to seek guidance is crucial for your growth
You got to
because
be aware. Men got to be aware of
you
that.
got to be aware, bro. You got to be
If they
aware
want, they
that
got
you
to be aware of
don't have
that.
all the answers. That
Right.
you don't have all the answers and that it's okay for you to not have all the answers and that you can go and seek information and no one's going to look at you, less than or not as qualified for or whatever because you went and sought out information. Like I feel like if you don't seek out information, you're a fool. If you
Right.
don't seek out guidance, you're a fool. Like, bro, like my therapist in the last 3 years, bro, like that's my guy, bro. Like, and if you look at him just by just physically, just how he looks, you be like, yo, they would be the furthest apart from like being able to like connect and vibe and all that stuff. But shout out to my homie Greg, bro. Like Greg done talked me off the ledge a couple times.
And
You
shout
done
out to
brought me
Greg.
back home. You done brought me back home a couple times. Like, you know what I mean? And it's relationships like that I value and I cherish the most, man, because they're able to guide me, bro. Like I don't have this whole thing figured out, bro. I
We
don't.
don't. We
Like
don't.
I
That's the
I
point
need
of
as much
relationship.
guidance.
That's the point of
Like
relationships. We're meant to have relationships. We're meant to do
like I
that.
need as much guidance as I can get, bro, because I'm trying to figure this out. Like I'm not, you know, dumb enough to just think I can do it on my own. Like I need to hear from older dudes who walked
Thank
in
you.
this path before.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's all right though, bro. I got more gray hairs than you, so it's all right.
That's because I just
You
got a
know?
haircut. That's because I cut them.
You know,
I
like I
just felt
need,
I just felt like I told you my age, and you did the shit Kevin Hart did. Damn,
damn, the damn,
but I hear
but
you.
it's just, like I need that guidance, bro. I need that guidance. I need that, like, hey man, you're doing the right thing. Hey, like, and I don't know, part of that because I know I'm never gonna get it from my father. So I'm always looking, you know,
For that male
for
figure.
some,
Yeah.
and that's for me, like, so it's like, fuck it. So that's why, like, now being in the position that I'm in now, like, coaching, training kid, like, you know what, bro? Like I'm able to be that.
You see,
Like
here's
because I'm being
here's
poured into, like I'm able to pour onto others.
here's something very important for people to understand. See, there's no coincidence in why your father was not in your life. And that's not to
Mm-hmm.
say your father's a bad man. That's not what I mean. But there's no coincidence. Here's why. You learned what not to be, right? You learned what not to be, which is why you are the man you are today, right? And that's not you saying your dad was a bad man. It is what it is. What the reason he figured not wanting to be in whoever's life and whatever, that's on him. But you learned who not to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day, if you think about it, it's like, thank you.
Yo, and it's so like I was having a conversation like that with Jordan, right? Because it's like, how can you thank someone for never being there? You teach value. You can even, hey man, you can teach valuable lessons in presence. You can teach valuable lessons in absence.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Now,
And you
it's all
are
about how you decide to take those, right?
for
But
sure.
that's a value. Yo, my like, I can proudly say my father helped make me be the man and father who I am today. I learned what not to do.
That's why I said what I said. You are the father you are today, the man you are today, because your father made a decision for whatever reason. It doesn't matter his reason to not be that male figure in your life. It is what it is. But all you could do, right, if you wanted to, if you're mature enough, and I'm not just talking to Angel now, although we're the
Yeah,
one having
yeah,
the
in
conversation,
general, yeah.
but for those listening, the mature thing to do is thank that person because look who you are today without that person. So just imagine if that person would have been in your life, who knows who you would have been today. But what we do know is the person you are today because of that decision, right? And I feel like a lot of people just hold grudges and you get what I'm saying? Like
Bro, that's heavy, bro.
forgiveness is one of the best things you can do.
Yo, bro, that's heavy, bro. That's yo, Raul is like it's a like it doesn't seem physical, but it's a like it's a
Of course.
like shoulders in, bro. Like
That's
it
why
is a heavy weight to bear.
that's why forgiveness is important. See, people think forgiveness is you forgiving the person. No, you're forgiving yourself for what you're carrying. You're forgiving yourself for what you're thinking about that person. You're
Yeah,
forgiving yourself for the hurt you have. Forgiveness goes beyond what the definition is in the dictionary, bro. It's
yeah.
beyond it. Doesn't mean you need to forget, but you need to
Nah,
forgive.
never forget, but you can forget.
Or you want to move on, you need to forgive. You got to let it go. I've done it. I've had conversation with you. I've done it,
Yeah,
right? Because sometimes it's a hurt. But when that hurt is not letting go, all you do is constantly think and then think bad and think negative things about whatever it is. So when you forgive, man, you forgiving to let go. You let it go. And it's a
yo, bro.
beautiful thing, man. It's so much that comes off of you when you can forgive in that way. You forgive
Like
yourself, people.
you start to get clear. You start to get like that cloud. That cloud is gone, bro.
Right,
That
right.
cloud is gone, and now you can operate differently. You can
Check
move
this out.
differently.
Check this out, chat. Check this out, chat. If you someone that thinks of someone you might have a grudge with and you get a headache, why you think you're getting that headache? Why you think you're getting the headache? Why you think you feel the anxiety when you think about a person? It's because you have hurt. And it has nothing, that person is living their life. They're not the
Hey,
ones
whoa.
carrying it, but you are. That's why it's important to let it go. It's so important to forgive. Bro, it used to happen to me, man. I used to have the thought and I start thinking like, bro, how can that be done like that? How can they do that? Bro, instantly a headache. My heart start beating
Yeah,
fast,
yeah.
right? You think they care about that? and I'm not saying this in a sense where anyone is doing any harm to anybody. That's not what this is. But we have to internally let go. We have to internally forgive ourselves for whatever that situation is, because holding grudges ain't getting you nowhere. Holding grudges actually closes the door to meet new people. It actually closes the door to have other opportunities, because you're holding on to something that is no longer meant to be in your life. And then not only that, you're holding on to it with a grudge.
Hatred stops all your blessings, bro. Like I've seen
All of them.
all of them. Like part of the reason why my wife and I, we are where we are today, bro, is like we clapped and celebrated for people when it wasn't our turn.
And that's huge.
And that's
That's huge.
huge. Like there's
That's
a lot
huge.
of people still now in the same place where they are. And it's just because they can't genuinely be happy for people. Like they genuinely just have that, ugh. For
It is
what?
what it is. It is what it
For
is, man.
what?
It is
Like
what it is.
that's a heavy load to carry when there are other important things to really focus on.
I agree. Okay. We got a few more questions and then we're done.
Let's do it, bro.
Why do you think many men avoid asking for support when they're going through big transitions in their lives?
Perception, looking weak, looking defeated.
What
You
society
know,
have men look?
perception. That's society, bro. That's society, bro. Like, yo, bro, how many times did I not like just literally go to you like, yo, bro, like that just was something that I couldn't figure out.
You know what's crazy that you say that? Well, I did like a bonus episode when I spoke about asking for help, the strength in asking for help. So here's a key lesson. These lessons that we all have lessons to learn in life. And if we don't learn them by the choices that we make, if we don't learn them, they come back up again. And they will
Oh,
continue to come back up again. And they will continue. So for me, there's certain things that have happened in my life where I'm put in a position to ask for help. But because society has gotten to me, you're weak for asking for help. We got to figure that shit out. We can't
mm-hmm.
ask no man for no help. You crazy? It came up for me multiple times and it came up for me again. And this time around, when it came up for me, I was aware. And I asked myself, why is it this shit keeps happening? Why?
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically the universe, God, whoever anybody believes in, telling you,
Mm-hmm.
stop trying to act like you can control what's outside of you. If you need help, ask.
Yep.
Ask. Bro, I did it. I asked my father for help. Oh my God, bro. Eso sí que yo, after, wasn't crying for sadness. It was crying because I felt the weight off of me.
Just gone.
Bro,
Yeah.
literally just gone. And my father, bro, it's like he's my dad. But that's the hardest thing. That you're asking your father, the man that raised you, to be a certain way for help. See, but the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that we look at the outside things. We don't look at the inside things of he is your father. He is there for you to help you.
Yeah.
Right? We miss that.
1000%.
We miss that. So ask my father for help, bro. Claro, mi hijo. Claro que sí. ¿Qué es lo que tú necesitas? Claro que sí. Right? We figure out how you'll get it. We'll figure it out. And we did, obviously. But claro que sí. No, he didn't ask me why. He didn't ask me, que make sure you pay me back, or none of that.
Yeah.
None of that. But here I am creating all this shit in my mind because
In your
society
head.
says men can do that. Right? And bro, I even asked. I had asked another friend of mine. Also, same thing. Asked for some help, some guidance, and it was the same thing. It's not a fear. It's more of a judgment,
Yeah.
right? Like you
The
said,
perception. What are they gonna think about
perception.
us?
What they're gonna think about me, right? And man, listen, I feel like after I've done that, everything else has just like it's just flowing. Like it's just flowing, and I don't feel any sense of anything happening again where I'm gonna be in a position where I need to ask for help. But guess what? If I do, I already know I can do it because I've
You
already
know,
broke
you know
that.
who you can go to.
And I feel like men have allowed society to determine how they carry themselves. And it sucks. And then it sucks that you have other men who make fun of men looking for things like that. Bro, we're supposed to be there for each other.
You're supposed to.
We're supposed to
That's what
be
it's
there for each
supposed to
other.
be.
We're supposed to be there for each other. How dare you be a man and make fun of another man who may be in a vulnerable state? Like, how does that even make sense?
It just that to me, like, that's a sucker move. Like, that's I've never
Bro,
understood
that
that.
doesn't it doesn't make you a man. It
It
doesn't.
doesn't make you mad. Like
It doesn't
making
make you
fun
a
of
man.
somebody else's struggle, like, bro, like it's to me is probably the weakest sign of a man.
Bro, for sure.
Making fun of somebody who's going like
In a
who's trying
vulnerable
to
state,
figure it out in a vulnerable stage, knowing good and goddamn well, like, yo, bro, like one in every like one every 30 seconds or shit, like somebody's offing themselves, bro.
bro,
When
it's
they
real
could have
shit.
gotten the help, the guidance, like
It's
make
real
just a
shit.
phone call, something.
It's real shit, bro. This
Like,
is
you know how
why,
many dudes out here, bro, are losing, like are literally losing their minds, harming themselves, harming their families, harming someone they love, getting into drugs, getting into alcohol, like like really destroying themselves out
bro,
of
I'm telling you.
fear of what somebody else is gonna bro. Come
I've
on,
been in,
dog. Like,
bro, I've been in a position in my life where I almost committed suicide. I know what that feels like. And
mhm,
it didn't and I could have had the people there for me to guide me. Like I could have called you, you would have been there for me. It wasn't
yeah,
about that. It was about myself, how I felt, how I judged myself because of what society has built, right? Man crying, man, we don't do that shit. Bro, I went through tough
yeah,
tough, but it's why my experiences is the reason why I feel, and I'm only bringing this up. I'm not trying to promote what I'm doing, guys. This is literally just a conversation we're having. But this is why I'm creating the space for men to feel heard, for men to feel seen, for men to know that they can be vulnerable in a safe space with no judgment, right? That's why I'm creating this. And that's why, bro, listen, the best thing we can have as men is support. And this is not to say that our families don't support us. This is not to say that our
it's a
significant others
different
don't support us. It's
it's a
for
different
us.
type of support, bro, because like you don't want to bring you like it's such a slippery slope, my brother, because you have to be who you have to be for the people within inside of your four walls, right? You
Of
got to be
course.
that, you got to be strong, you got to be this, right? And again, like I said earlier, trying to make almost every right decision, like shape somebody's future. Like you got to move and you got to think about things in such a way where it's almost like, yo, bro, like it's exhausting.
It is. And that's all
It's
we are.
exhausting.
We're exhausted. We're
It's
exhausted.
okay to be exhausted, but like social media, like all these, like it just it creates this false sense of narrative, like where everything is perfect or everything has to be perfect. What fucking world does perfect exist?
Right.
In what world?
Right.
In
Right.
what world, bro? Like in what world? So, but it's just like there's certain moments and thoughts that go through my head that I know, yo, like I can't bring this to my wife and kids.
Right. And hear me out. And that's
Like,
not to say that you're saying your wife and kids are
that's
not
not to
there
take
for
it
you.
away from them that they're not worth it, that they can't
Right.
help me. No,
Right.
but it's just like, yo, bro, if I really break down to y'all what's going on
You're not
in
gonna
all these
understand.
fucking brain cells
You're
right
not
now,
gonna understand.
you're not even gonna understand it,
You're just
bro.
not gonna understand. And like I said, for those who listening, and I have women that listen, this is not to say that your man thinks you're not supporting. This has nothing to do with you at all. This has to do with the man himself, how they feel inside.
Hmm.
That's it. And the only thing that can help a man like that to be honest is being a part of men that are in that as well right now or have gone through that
Going
already.
through it, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I've gone through it. And the process of learning, evolving, and healing doesn't end. That continues to
No, it's a,
happen.
it's a forever journey.
It continues to happen, right? Because let's say I've already learned some of the things Angel could be going through right now. This is just hypothetically speaking, right? There's certain things that I can still learn from that man who I'm helping, who I'm guiding, although I already went through it. There's still something in there that I can still
Still
learn from.
value. Yeah.
Everything is value, exactly. Everything is value. So yeah, man, it's oh man, I'm passionate about this, man. Like I really am, and the door's open for men that want to be a part of something like that, bro. Stop letting society dictate how you should be as a man. Stop letting these fake ass bullies think that they that's how men are supposed to be. Like it's bullshit,
Yep. Yeah.
bullshit.
1000%. 1000%. I
All right,
agree.
we got like two more questions then.
Let's
All
do
right,
it, bro.
we're gonna talk about life and leadership now. You've made some tough pivots, right? As a soldier, as a man, entrepreneur. What's been the hardest pivot you've ever had to make out of those things? The hardest one.
I think it was just becoming an entrepreneur because it goes back to perception. It goes back to society. It goes back to the people that you love, that know you or know a specific version of you, that now see you want to do something different, and now they project their fears or their inconsistencies onto you, and you start to believe it. Like, yo, bro, like when, back in 2016, like, I'm still working as a property manager. Steph is a property manager in the city too, and then, like Herbalife literally falls into our lap. And like, yo, like people was just laughing at like my homies, like people from the block, like just laughing. Like I was very ignorant. I would choose violence. Like, yo, bro, pull up. Like you gonna have this shit or you gonna pull up, nigga. Like, what's up? Like, like real shit though, right? And entrepreneurship was the golden goose that no one ever spoke about,
Same for me. I didn't know anything about
right?
entrepreneur.
So here's the thing
They
though.
don't teach that in
They don't teach it in school. But here's the thing, right? Entrepreneurship, I saw it every day in a bad way. You go outside, you see somebody being an entrepreneur over there on the corner. They be an entrepreneur, they just doing it in the wrong way. They in the wrong business,
I get what you're saying. Yes.
right? They in the wrong business, but they still entrepreneurs. For me, I wanted to be and accomplish something and be an entrepreneur and be successful at it and be happy and be proud of what I was doing, And when you tell somebody you're going to accomplish something, they just start to throw all these things your way to let you know why you're not going to be able to do it and how you're going to fail and how you're going to come up short. That at that point, it really just became bet, say less, watch this.
Watch this. And that's the
What?
motivate. That's the fire. But hear
That's the
me out.
fire.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. Hear me
Yeah.
out. At some point, that fire would die because now you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
So now so this is I think entrepreneurship is beautiful, bro.
It is.
Because entrepreneurship, it teaches you so many valuable lessons at the moment and when it's supposed to teach it to you. So yeah. So at first is bet, watch this. You said I'm
Right.
watch what I'm gonna do. Watch what I'm gonna do. Then once
Nixon
you
5.
start Nixon 5, by the way. Then once you start to actually reap the benefits of the work that you're doing, then comes like the self-reflection, right? Because you don't build the building from the top down, you build it from the bottom up. So now is why am I doing this? Because that watch this, it's only gonna go for a little bit of time.
Catches up.
Because then now is okay, why are you doing this? Okay, now what's your why? What's that foundation? Like, why are you doing what you're doing as hard as you're doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
Then once that why is really strong, now entrepreneurship is teaching you the value of now it's your core values. Why do you want to do this? Why? Why? Then you realize it's like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm really doing it. Then that starts to become the driving force for a while. And then as you start to dig into that and that's driving you for a bit, then guess what? You find another why.
Mm-hmm.
Because whys, like you can have like some fundamental whys that are like clear cut reasons why you do, like why family, kids, right? Cool. Then you get to a certain point in your life where it's just like, okay, like I'm providing for them, they're being taken care of, but okay, I need more time. So I need more time flexibility. Like I want that. Like that's my why now. I want more time, right? And then as we get older, it's like okay, now my why is okay. Let's make sure we're setting up, the Roth IRA fund. Let's make sure that the kids' college, like the why. Okay, now let's make sure the grandkids, like the why starts to change, and that's okay,
And it will
you know,
always change. It will
and it
always
will
change.
always change because. And your why, and what people fail to forget, your why has to change because you're forever evolving. You're forever growing.
Hmm. Yep.
If your
Yep.
why stays the same forever, that's a problem.
Hmm. And
You know,
what ends up happening with the why staying forever, it becomes also an excuse why not to do it.
so your why can become your why or your why not.
Why you or you why not? But that's only
You know,
because you're not evolving. It's only because
you're
you're not
not growing. You
right.
know, so now, being in this space like entrepreneurship, bro, like entrepreneurship was the biggest pivot because like no one ever looks at entrepreneurship as something that like people, and it's so crazy. And it's so just the thought process, right? Because life is so uncertain. Life is so uncertain. Like nothing in life is promised. Nothing in life is promised. Right? Like I feel like we all got a big slap in the face in that when like COVID hit. Right? Like not like life can like shit can shut down like that, bro. Like it gets to the point where you have to like really have a self-belief in yourself that no man, like something has to be different. Like Raul, like my life couldn't look my life, the way it was projecting for it to be, like, yo, bro, I was gonna be stuck, bro. Like my life was gonna be the average person's life. And listen, there's nothing wrong. Like if you want to live an average life,
That's
darling, bro,
cool.
like
That's
do
cool.
you, bro,
Yeah,
do
that's
you.
cool.
But me? I'm not living that way, bro. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to, wonder where my next meal is coming from. I don't want to wonder what my kid's future is looking like. Like, yes, these are all thoughts that I'm going to think regardless, but I don't want it to be that I'm stuck in this bubble because I'm working because my whole family's telling me to go to school, get a degree and get a 9 to 5 and in 40 years you're retired. Like, I don't want that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. I want more. There's more to life. Like, I love where I'm from. I couldn't stay there. I couldn't because it was just constricting me, bro. Like
Your environment could do that. And your environment could do that.
bro, it was the anaconda, it was the python just wrapping around my neck, wrapping around my body. The more I try to fight it, like the more they should try to pull me in.
And
Like,
even
nah,
within
bro, like
and
it's
even
insane, bro.
within
But like entrepreneurship, like it really just it can open your life and your eyes to a completely different way of living, to a completely different way of thinking if you allow it to, and you cut off yo, bro, I had to cut my mom off for a bit. I
same,
couldn't hear you, shorty. You was
same,
wilding. You wanted
same.
me to keep working 40, 45 hours a week at that job that I hated. Crossing the Triborough every day is insane. What they call it now, the RFK? Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
To work with a little, yo, bro, I'll never forget the day Jordan got sick at school and Steph was stuck and she needed me to go pick him up. And the dudes, like, I needed to ask for permission to go be a dad.
That's
Hey, yo,
crazy.
son. Hey, yo, stop playing with me, dog. Like,
Entrepreneurship, man.
I really got up in my boss' face at the time. It's like, yo, dog, like, I'm out of here. Do something. Like, really, like, what? Like, cause you can't stop me from being a father, bro. You can't stop. Like, I couldn't live with that ball and chain, bro. Like, and like now, bro, like my kids, like they're exposed to the world of entrepreneurs. Like they have to be exposed to it. They know it. Like like my kids have events at schools and stuff where like, okay, now you're the entrepreneur for a day. Like now you gotta make something for yourself. Now they see what we do. They see how we hustle. They see how we grind. They're exposed to it. That's why, like, not for nothing, bro, to each his own. That's why Amari's not back in school anymore. That's why he's in a homeschool situation where he's going to a program, yeah, 2 or 3 days out the week, right? And then he's learning core thing, mathematics, all that stuff, right? But now he's learning finances. Now he's learning life skills. Now he's learning different things that I'm trying to prepare him for. Like, what do I look like? I'm telling my son he could be anything he could be in this world. And I'm sending him to a place for 9 hours a day where you got to put your hand up to go pee. You got to walk on the right side of the wall. You know, you eat for 15 minutes. What, we in jail?
But check this out. Check this out. Now that you're saying that,
Mm-hmm.
and this might be touchy topic, but I'm just speaking
Yeah.
truth. A lot of parents think that they have no choice but to send their kids to school because they got to go work for somebody else.
And that's like, come on, dog.
We've been there. It's not like we're not. And again, this is not
There's
saying that
nothing
there's
wrong with
anything
that.
wrong with that.
There's
But
nothing wrong with that.
listen to the message, right?
The message is that there's beauty in having options, bro.
Of course, there is, for sure. That's literally it.
Having options, it's amazing. And we live in a world where we can have as many options as we choose to if we are thinking if we're not even thinking the right way, but if we're allowing ourselves to think outside the box, to think outside the norm.
Or something that's aligned with you or not. Because let me hit me out, chat.
Yeah.
Even within entrepreneurship, there's a time that you might be out of alignment as well, and whatever it is that you're doing, right? So there's a lot that even within entrepreneurship, there's pivots that are taken.
How many times dudes didn't have to clear the whiteboard up? Nah, that game plan's not it. All right, back to the plotting.
Every month, if you think about it.
Back to the plotting. Okay, this was
every
it.
month.
Okay, we got to switch this.
Every month. And there's lessons within that as well. There's lessons within that as well. But people, like Angel said, for those of you listening, it's a good thing to have options. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I remember when Angie first started Herbalife, her reason to start, obviously she started because she wanted to lose weight. But when she got into the business, it was to be there for her daughter, to have more time for her daughter. To not have to drop off and be in a rush to go to work. When she started doing the business, it was for that, to have the time.
Yep.
And she got that. I was never exposed to that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I grew up, 9 to 5, you got a good job. You good. You get to stay there for 40 years. I was exposed to entrepreneur through Angie. And then I started to see, man, time is valuable. Like time with what you're trying to put time into, because at the end of the day, we can go deep.
If you're wasting time, you're wasting time.
Right. So for me, it was like, damn, if I can do this and have more time with my child, why not? If I can do this and have more time with my family, why not? Right. And it's just like, for me now, it's like, man, even in entrepreneurship, if it's not aligned with me, I can't go back to what it used to be. Like, I gotta continue to create something, to build something again. It doesn't matter how many times I start over. It doesn't. It's just, this gives me the freedom of time to be there for my family, to be there for myself, right? So I agree with you 100% that the message is, gotta have options. There's nothing wrong with having the options.
There's nothing wrong with exploring options, bro. Like, people, and I was there, and we were all there. We were willing to sacrifice decades of our lives for something you get consistently coming every week or every 2 weeks. Think about how that sounds, bro.
No.
We were willing to sacrifice decades.
Oh, yeah, but think about, let's go deeper. What about the people that have been working for 20, 30 years? COVID happened, they let them go.
COVID happened, lost it, everything. Everything. But you was loyal to the game.
Dedicated 30 years, 35 years to this company, and they let you go like nothing when COVID happened.
Like that, bro.
Listen, COVID showed people, hopefully it did, but COVID showed people that they can be their own boss, or they were just not ready to be their own boss.
Yeah.
Still relying on going back.
And it showed people, bro, like, you can actually, you can be home, you can work, you can do you can still do your thing. Like, this ideology that, you needed to be in a certain place for X amount of hours a day, but you can still provide the same. Now, granted, if you bullshit, you bullshit. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
But if you really like about it, and you really structured, and you disciplined, and you going things, Come on, dog. Like, it's possible, bro. Like,
One thing I'll tell you that I highly respect from companies, these 9 to 5s, is that they're allowing people to work remotely. That I
yeah,
think is super dope because
because
let's
they see
say
the value in it, bro.
I know people that work remotely, but still creating their own thing. It gives you the
Yes,
opportunity to have that. So for
yes.
companies that are actually allowing people to do work
Shout out to them.
remotely, shout out to them because at the end of the day, there are people out there trying to create something for themselves that they generally want to, and having to physically go into a job it makes it a little too hard. It makes it a little hard because you can
It
find the
makes it a
time to do it.
little hard.
But
You could find the time.
if you're working
No,
remotely,
no,
you
like
could
that
do
again.
that. If you're working remotely, you could build something for yourself.
And we live in a world, where it's just like,
Mhm.
God
Mhm.
bless you, bro. There's days, bro. Like me and my like Steph has done this a couple of times. I was gonna say me and my wife, but she's done this more. She's definitely done this a bunch of times, bro. Like we'll literally be in the supermarket, bro, seeing people like that ready to check out, scrambling, bro, for an extra $5, an extra $10, $20. Steph will be, yo, we got that. Like we'll take care of that,
I've done it. I've done it
bro.
too,
It's
man.
hard, bro.
I've done it
Bro,
too.
it's hard for people to just like survive and eat, bro, and like it's hard for people to live,
Yeah,
bro.
not too long ago, somebody was buying something in the supermarket here in DR. He was like trying to find it in his pocket. That it also made me feel. I think the cash register was thinking that he has no money, and I just told the cash register, "Yo, déjalo que yo solo compro, no te preocupes." And I bought it for him. I bought him. The dude
Yeah,
looked like he was buying food for his family too. But
yeah.
yeah, man, I agree. People, if you're just relying on one stream of income right now in 2025,
Yo, bro, especially well here in the States,
oh, there's
the
people.
is
But check this out: there's people making millions of dollars who don't rely on one stream of income. Even they don't.
they don't, right? Like think about it, yo, bro. Right now, we've been on a federal government
Shut
shutdown for like the
down
last like
17 days.
19, 20 days. We're up to like 20 days already. Bro, if on November 1st they don't fix this, 42 million people are gonna lose their SNAP EBT.
That's
42
wild.
million people.
I also saw that some people are not even getting paid because it's affecting their transfers.
I got a friend of mine who works. He actually works in Brooklyn at the federal prison that's there where all these dudes at. He's like, yo, today I'm on day 20, not getting paid.
I
Not
would,
getting paid for 20 days.
I would not be going to work, bro.
No, pero la vaina es, bro. Now you're not showing up. Now they clip your wings.
No, oye, el problema es esto. This is the real truth. You want to hear the fucking real truth? Did you want to hear the fucking real truth? You guys are about to hear it right now.
I'm
The
here for it.
problem is that we fucking rely on the government too much. The government needs us. We need to stand the fuck up. They need us. Let's not all go to work to see what the fuck happens.
Yeah,
But the thing is, people rely too much on the fucking government.
they rely on it. They rely
One
on it.
of the
They
reasons
need it. They need
It's
it.
one of the reasons why Angie and I decided to leave fucking the US. It's one of the
You
reasons.
know. And
People
yo, bro,
rely
and every
too
day,
much.
yo, bro, every day we get closer and closer to just dipping, bro.
Bro,
Every day,
dip,
bro. And not,
dip.
like now, like at first, we were like, "Yo, we're gonna wait till Amari goes to middle school. We'll homeschool him. Amari's he's in homeschool right
Yeah,
now.
homeschool right
Oh,
now. Dip,
oh, yo
bro.
tengo una
If
maleta right
you
there in the home to
if
load up,
you
dog.
if you are an entrepreneur, if you can work remotely from everywhere and your job is still paying you remotely, if you're making money as an entrepreneur, leave the US. Okay? Now my shit ain't gonna get shut down because of that, hopefully. But the reality is I'm only speaking from experience, guys. I'm only speaking from experience. We made a decision because of that. We didn't rely on the government anymore. We were not afraid of relying on them. And the thing is, a lot of people rely on the government, bro. The government needs us. There's more of us than there is them.
But it's crazy, bro. It is insane, bro.
I'm telling
It
you, if
is insane.
everybody does not go to work, what the fuck are they gonna do? Don't show up to work.
Imagina that when the right hand don't talk to the left hand,
Oh man, come
to
on.
have that unity, like
Let's move on.
there's power, there's strength and power, bro. There's strength and unity, bro. But everything, like, and that's another reason why we, you
But
know,
we
like,
are
bro. And
the
it's not even. I
unity.
told
We are the unity.
we bought the property, and you're like, bro. At any moment, I'm just like, yo, baby, like, yo, dog. Esta vaina está. It's about time.
Yeah, bro, we are the unit. The thing is that people don't see that. We're the unity. We are. People just don't see that. People see the government above them. And I get it. There's rules, there's regulations. But bro, they need us more than we need them. We just don't have the balls.
Rules were meant to be broken, bro. I stopped following rules since I was
Bro,
18. Bro. I don't follow no
here's what
rules, dog.
here's what's here's what's crazy. I just literally saw
Yo.
the other day on TikTok that the
Yeah.
rules that the government has was put in place for the government, not for the people. And
And the
they're
crazy
putting the
thing
rules
is,
on us.
them shits neither.
Crazy, man.
That's,
Let's move on. Let's move on. All right, man.
we gonna need another episode for this, bro.
Bro, for someone listening right now who
Yeah.
knows it's time to pivot but feels afraid, what advice would you give?
You should be more afraid of staying where you are.
That's enough right
Like,
there.
that's enough right there, bro. Like, it should be, if you're in a tough situation now, right? What is it? October 20th, 2025, 11:55 in the morning, you listening to this, and you're in a tough situation now, and you're not doing anything to change those current circumstances. You should be scared of just staying in the same place and never doing anything else. Like, complacency is death, man. Like,
I agree
I
100%.
remember, bro, and you know, you gave me, and you probably don't even know it, but you gave me one of the best advice
Well, my memory is good,
years
so
ago.
my
This was,
memory.
yeah, this was, this was 20, this was 2018. This was 2018, around the time before Amari was born. And I just remember a conversation we were having because at the time we were living in Yonkers, still in that apartment across the street from you. So we had the two small bedroom, very small bedrooms, like the kitchen and the living room, they was all conjoined together, right? We had a very small spot, but now we're bringing in a baby, right? And business was doing well at the time. You know, Steph and I, we were doing really well with Herbalife. And I remember the fourth floor to the apartment upstairs in our building had become available. And this fourth floor still had the two rooms, but it had a separate dining room, whatever. It was just a bigger space. And I remember a conversation we had, and it was geared around that. Like, yo, like Amari's coming, like we thinking about moving, whatever. And I told you, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about moving just upstairs to the fourth floor. And this was around the time where everybody was moving,
Mm.
right? This is around the time everybody was moving. And I remember a conversation that we had, and you were just like, yo, bro, like, how are you supposed to give people vision if you're just limiting yourself? Like,
I
taking a
remember.
little bit like that point, but it was just like, how are you supposed to guide people, right? If you're still operating in that sense of fear. And that's what it was for me. It was scary because we're 2.5 years into entrepreneurship. Things are going great, right? We grew very fast, right? So things are going good, money's going in, but we're still like, our living circumstances weren't the best. We weren't like, we weren't going without, but we just weren't in the best space possible for our growing family. And I remember, bro, we had that conversation, and
And
probably like a
that
couple,
wasn't and just so people know, that wasn't
yeah,
about showing off. That was from
no,
your
no, it
own
wasn't.
it was your limitation, your own
That was my
limitation.
own fear. That
Yeah,
was my own fear. Like,
I
yo,
remember.
like, I'm in Riverdale. I'm 10 minutes away from my mom's house in the Heights. Like, I'm still like, I'm still around the homies. I'm still around. So I'm comfortable where I'm at. Anything outside my comfort zone to a degree was like really scary and really fearful. So now we have that conversation because at that point you had just moved too,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah,
now I'm like, yo, I'm thinking whatever, whatever. Long story short, couple weeks later, we go out to Connecticut.
Connecticut. I
Now we in a
remember.
now we in a beautiful spot out there. We seeing everything, and we go and we apply, and we eventually we get the joint, and now we're living there. And I remember the first time you came to the house, it was all of y'all that came to the crib, and for
That
me it
was the
was like a
game night.
surreal.
That was that
That
game
was a
night,
game
right?
night. That was crazy, bro.
Niggas was
Game
tight.
night started some
Niggas was
shit.
tight.
You know what I mean? But it was like for me, it was so dope that you came over because like you played a very intricate part in me taking that step because yo, I needed that because like I was ready to stay in the same place
You were ready to stay
out of
complacent
fear.
out of
I
fear.
was ready to stay complacent out of
And that's what I'm
fear.
saying. This was not about showing off. This was not about showing
Ooh,
what money you have. This was about you questioning your own intention, your own
and what am
fear.
I capable of? What am I capable of doing? Yo, bro, so now we move. So now we move 45 minutes away from the city. We in a nice little community. Now the kid now I went from the studio apartment, kitchen, living room thing to okay, Jazz has her own room. Jordan has his own room. Me and Steph got a great walk-in closet. Amari's a couple months old, so we in the little bassinet still. We got a nice little view. We got the pool. We got the pool house, and now we can go play pool. We can work. Now I'm just like, how we living? And ever since that moment, bro,
Shit felt
never
good,
look
right?
back.
Felt good, right? It
Never
felt
look back.
freeing. That felt freeing.
So now, so now, so now, if you're listening to this and you have something heavy on your heart, heavy on your spirit, or yo, bro, not for nothing, dog. Like maybe you just straight up, like maybe you just sick of this shit. Like maybe you just like, cause I feel like you got to get to a certain point too, bro. Cause ya tú te cansa, bro. Like I'm fed up with this shit.
We all get to that point.
I'm fed up with this regular life. I'm fed up with my living circumstances. And like you can, however you start, whatever fuels your start, fuck it. If it's desperation, if it's motivate, if it's like whatever fuels you to start, go. Go. But what you can't allow is for fear to just keep you there because it'll keep you there. And every fucking day, it takes 1% from your fucking soul. It takes
Mm-hmm.
1%. It just takes from you because now you understand. Once you know better and you want more out of this life, bro, you understand that everything else that's not aligned with you wanting more or becoming more or being better is fucking draining you and it's taken from you.
I agree
And it's
100%.
taken from you, and it's fucking. We're already dying, but it's fucking killing you, bro.
Little by
To
little.
the point, to the point where it's just like, yo, we moving to Florida? Hell yeah, we out of here, bro.
Check this out. Check this
We
out.
gone. Now DR is gonna be next too. So when I say
The slower you die, the quicker you die, if you think about it, because it's eating you up little by little. Think about
that's a
that.
fact. That's a fact.
All right. We're going to get to the signature question,
Let's
right?
do it.
Before we close off, my brother, what does brotherhood mean to you?
Brotherhood to me means having a foundation of men around you that all provide different value, right? You don't go for everybody for everything, right? So having a brotherhood means you have people, you have men around you that they each provide value in your life and you provide value to their life in your own special way. And that means you have people around you who are holding you accountable, people around you who are looking out for you, people around you who understand that, yeah, we may not speak every day because we all got shit going on, but when you need me, I'm here.
Yeah. Guys, for you listening, I ain't paid Angel to say that. He basically just mentioned what I'm doing, what I'm
Yeah, I
creating.
just saw myself pop up.
But he just literally he's answering the question.
I just saw myself pop up. I appreciate you. I don't even know. Do you have Zelda DR? Whatever,
But
man. We'll get to
this is why literally why I'm creating what I'm creating. This is why I sent you the message that I sent you yesterday, that you're a huge pillar. That experience, that relationship we have is part of that. See, I created something that necessarily doesn't mean it's coming from me only. It's from my experiences with people, right?
Mhm.
So when you think about that and you hear and you hear the experiences in the story and you see the mindset people have, it all stems from that. And to have people in a group like that, my
It's
God,
powerful.
it's powerful, man. It's powerful. So I'm going to close it out with I have a challenge for listeners every time I do a podcast. So the challenge this week is ask yourself, where in my life is a pivot overdue? And what's one step I can take to move in that new direction? Okay, I'll say it again. Question for the listeners. Where in my life is a pivot overdue? And what's one step I can take to move in that new direction? Okay? So that's the question for you guys. Besides that, Angel, my brother, an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. I knew you wouldn't say no, but you got to
Come on,
always
bro.
ask the question. You know, our relationship has been built off of many things. The love I have for you, the love I have for your family is genuine and is unconditional as well. So I thank you again for being a part of this episode on my podcast. I appreciate you. If there's anything you want to share before I close out with my signature
Yeah,
line.
man. My brother, I love you, man. Congratulations to you, because I know this is going to be anything you touch, brother, is going to turn into gold, man. And I'm
Thank
happy
you.
for you. I'm glad to see, you're doing well. Your family, bro, they're thriving. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's growing the way they're supposed to be growing, man. And I'm happy. I'm happy to call you a brother, and it's only going up from here, bro. So keep up with your success, man. And I'm here to support you every step of the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. And as you guys know, thank you for locking in with us today. And remember, come for the truth, stay for the brotherhood.
I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back.